Introducing Tony and Other People, a podcast. Here's your host, Tony Levesque.
Timothy Michael Munn.
Hey, Tony Levesque, how are you?
Hey, you pronounced it right.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, we were just messing around a minute ago, and that wasn't the case.
No, I called you Tony Levesque.
Yeah. So I've known you probably longer than, I'd say, I don't want to say more than anyone on the podcast, because I've had my brother on there, although I might have known you before he was born.
It is possible. It's been a very long time.
I think I met you when I was in high school.
That's right, yep. I was friends, and I worked with your father at Kraft Foods, doing a lot of computer work for them, different things, and we would have coffee every day, and through that relationship...
His hazelnut creamer.
Every time I drink hazelnut creamer, I think of your father.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I have hazelnut. And actually, I haven't had it in a very long time. So I think I got to stop over there and have a cup.
You should.
Yep.
They still got hazelnut creamer. I don't know what their obsession is with that, but Dad loves the hazelnut.
Yes, he sure does, yeah. And that's, back when you were doing sandblasting on glass.
Yep. I still, once in a while, I'll do cups because they're easy.
Yep.
And I don't really sandblast anymore. I use the acid etch, like the chemical that you put on there. And that you can't really do with bigger things. For one, it's really expensive. And two, it just doesn't work. That it's very time sensitive.
Right.
So by the time you paint the whole thing on there, you get different, like it gets wavy.
But you actually have to paint that acid like with a paintbrush?
Yeah, it's like a paste almost.
Interesting.
Yeah, so on cups, on small little projects, it will work. But even if you drip a little bit on something that's not covered, just 1 second of it being on there will ruin it.
Yep.
So
I remember you did that corn.
Oh, that's
mirror.
right.
Remember that?
Oh man, I haven't thought about that in forever.
Well, that's going back in memory, isn't it?
Yeah. It was on a mirror.
Yeah.
And I sandblasted a picture of the band Korn.
Yep.
And then I scraped the backing of the mirror off and the letters of Korn, and then painted it red.
I remember it looked really good.
Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to that. Somewhere.
That's a good question.
It's in somebody's basement somewhere.
I bet we'd find it over at your dad's house somewhere.
Probably. Well, they sealed off the attic. Mom got a hold of me a little while ago. I think it might have been last summer. And she said, come get your stuff. We're sealing up the attic. They were getting mice up there, and it had ruined a few things that they were saving. And I said, it's just better for insulation and everything if we just seal it off.
Be done with it.
And then I think they did spray foam or something up in there. But she sent me home with like 3 or 4 totes of my childhood toys and all the things that I kept that I thought were going to be worth, millions of dollars by now.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they're not worth anything. Sentimental value, that's about it. But found all my He-Man, Ninja Turtle toys.
Yeah, I know. It's fun. I've gone through my parents' garage and recently found my old video games from when I was a kid, Sear Online. If anyone remembers the King's Quest and Space Quest games from back in the day. Yeah. I know. I'm dating myself right now. There's lots of people out there that would remember that, though. Go, oh, yeah, I remember those days.
Was that before Atari?
It was after Atari. I had the Atari as well.
I love the Atari.
The Atari 2600.
And, now they're doing all the retro throwback games, and I think it's because the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
Like, you can make a video game so detailed, and, people love that, too.
And it's impressive, but sometimes we all want to just go back to, the easier days, if you will, or what we thought were the easier days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found Star Wars toys over there, too, actually.
Really?
Which is kind of funny.
Those are probably worth some money.
Yeah, I've got them at my house now. Who knows? It's funny. You just keep them around, and it's just something kind of nice to have, and something that brings back some old memories.
Do you notice too that nostalgia is way more meaningful the older you get?
Yes, very much. You just
want those. I don't know if you want those days back, but you want a taste of it.
Yeah, we run our business now. We've been running it for 18 years or so, and
okay,
it's been a while.
Piximation.
Piximation, yep.
Get your plug in there.
It's the company that no one knows exists in Lewis County, basically, but it's got quite a reach and does quite a few things.
Yeah. Yeah, because Fred was asking me the other day, he's like, what? He tried to explain to me I don't know what they do.
Well, actually, so Piximation develops software, really. That's our main business. We develop software for companies all across the country, and it's located here in Lewis County, and it's kind of funny. Mm-hmm. It's funny that no one knows the company exists yet. It's actually fairly it's an impressive company, honestly.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it, keeping it small. We'll see where it goes.
Doing what you want to do.
Yeah, doing what we want to do. We got a new product that we've been working on called Ditto Platinum. Put a plug in there.
Yeah.
See that, Tony? See how that works?
Sneaky.
Yeah, so...
plug as much as you want.
Yeah, plug away.
This is not sponsored.
No, I know.
It is now.
It is now.
Piximation.
Piximation.com.
Go check it out and see what's there. I'm going to.
Yeah,
I checked it out years ago.
Yeah, I'll spell it for all those people out there that's saying, "Hey, how do you spell that?" It's Pixamation. Check it out.
You got to come do some commercials for me.
Oh,
that was nice.
Yeah, well, actually, I was thinking something about the commercial. You know how we're going to be putting that commercial on.
Do you want to do it?
Maybe. Can you do it?
I can.
Yeah.
I do 90% of ours.
Nice. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to have a cell phone text message sound bing, or something go off
right
at the very beginning of the commercial.
Okay.
That's it. And then start talking.
That's awesome.
Everyone's going to immediately...
They're
going to look at their phone. They're going to... Ooh, what's that?
You realize they're not going to hear the first 10 seconds of your commercial because they're going to be digging their phone out.
So what we'll do is we'll do a 10-second delay after that sound.
Or just do some stuff that means nothing. You're like, hey, I see you're checking your phone right now.
Now...
While you're on your phone...
Listen to this commercial.
Yeah. You got your phone out. Go to Piximation.com.
Man, I love marketing. I love it. I love sales.
Yeah.
Something I actually enjoy sales more than I actually enjoy programming, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. And figuring out clever ways to get people to take notice in a very busy, very, very crazy world that's out there. You know, how can you get noticed in the room and everyone looks the same?
There's so much out there.
Yeah.
We're just looking at content 90% of our day.
Yeah, content consumption. It's tremendous. Yeah, it's huge. I kind of wonder how many gigabytes of data the average family uses up just watching movies and TV shows in a month. I bet it's a lot.
Well, it amazes me, like in high school, I was in high school in the late 90s, a little bit younger than you, and I remember AOL Instant Messenger, and you could send pictures.
Pretty cool for its day, huh?
Yeah, but I also remember how long it took, and you would see it, line by line coming down the picture, downloading or uploading, and now we throw a fit if Netflix buffers for a second. It just amazes me, you know, where we've come.
Yeah, we've kind of grown into a very impatient society, haven't we?
A little needy.
Yeah, a little needy.
Yeah.
Back when I was in school, let's see here, I graduated in 94.
Okay.
There was no internet, or I'm sure there was, just not in our area.
Just for Oregon Trail.
Yeah, Oregon Trail in the library, right?
Yeah, floppy disk.
If you knew where it was, there was King's Quest there too. But,
Yeah, get it out of you.
Yeah, so, they had typewriter class.
Mm-hmm.
Typewriters.
Right.
I actually know a few people who still use a typewriter.
Yeah, like the brother.
Yeah, or the IBM.
The real.
Like the IBM, I don't know what it was called, like Writer Pro or something like that.
Something fancy.
Something fancy. But I remember actually, I just admired my friend's father. He was in the computer industry.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this printout of a Star Wars scene. And the thing is at a distance, you could see the whole Star Wars scene. You could see the logo, one of the ships and all that. But up close, what it was just the alphabet, letters and numbers typed over the top of each other.
Right. To darken and lighten.
Which was really just super impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just something I was just always amazed at whenever I would look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And but there was no internet. I remember my friend Chris. You know Chris,
mm-hmm.
Giuseppe. In case you're out there, Chris,
mm-hmm.
Him calling me up, telling me I had to come up immediately and check this out, check this new technology out. And I'm like, what is it? And he's like, it's called the internet. I'm like, I got to come see this. Okay. And you could type in anything you wanted, and you'd get back like 6 results.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Yeah.
That was...
and that was impressive.
Oh, it was mind-boggling.
Yeah.
The things you could find, and there's lots of things you could type in and you got 0 results. Now, I believe today, I bet you I don't think there would be a 0 result. Chances are you would get something no matter what you typed in.
Right. It's crazy. A lot of times it'll finish your sentence.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've got my theories on that. But
yeah.
Maybe we'll get into that. Maybe we won't.
Ooh, we'll see.
I think our phones are listening, but who knows?
Oh, I would say yes, they are.
Yeah, I think
they
so
have
too.
the ability. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, and I think even if you turn off
mm-hmm.
the microphone in your settings, I'm not so sure it does,
Right.
Coming from a programming background,
right.
I can make the cancel button do whatever I want it to do.
Right.
Even though it says cancel. Maybe some people need to hear this actually.
Yeah.
And it's it says cancel, but I can make it do whatever I want it to do.
Right.
So anyway. But yeah, and then it wasn't until it was in college at Onondaga Community College that I remember the lab got high-speed internet back when most people had just dial-up if you were lucky.
Right.
And I would purposely use the lab because it was amazing to download something in 15 minutes.
Right.
Instead of an hour. So it was kind of cool.
I love thinking back on that when you'd see the little timer and it would say, 15 minutes to download. And you always thought it was lying. You're like, no, this will be 7 minutes. And it was, half hour usually. Whoever invented that thing, they're like, oh, we're gonna make people wait.
Yeah, we're gonna do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send it at like 2 kilobits a second.
We'll slow it down a little bit later. They won't even notice.
Yeah, I know it. And at work we're working on getting fiber optics, a 5 gigabit line in. That's astronomical speeds. And that you can download. Well, I could probably download a movie in just, I don't know, a minute or less at those type of speeds, the entire movie.
That's insane. Where we've come from. Oh my God.
I know. It's, you got networks that are in the 10 gigabit range, in people's homes now, if you've got the money for it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of businesses have it, but, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Technology.
I love too that we've got people in charge of it, like Elon Musk, that have these incredible ideas for it. Not just how to make it happen, but what to do next. Yeah,
it's people like Elon that they change the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually just bought his book, actually.
Really?
I have not finished reading it yet, but he impresses me.
Mm-hmm.
He's an innovator, and people like that, sometimes the news media will, kind of focus in on things that I don't think they should necessarily focus in on.
Yeah.
But you have to give it to somebody who has made it big in other areas and could have stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Could have just said, I'm gonna vacation the rest of my life. But
he's
instead,
got more money than he'll ever need. He doesn't have to do anything more.
Yeah.
Yet he's always coming out with new projects.
I know. Lots of neat, a lot of neat things like reusable rockets and ones that can come back. on their own.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, the Falcon X? Is that what they call it?
I think so. With the Roadster on there?
Yeah.
Just ideas like that, too.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to put my car on the front of there. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Because we can.
Because I can. Yeah.
Why not?
Put a dummy in there, too.
Let's just do it.
Makes me wonder what else
Yeah.
put in there.
Interesting. I mean, and then you ever see those Tesla charging stations around? Like there's one in Watertown at the mall.
I saw that.
And
I think they're putting one in at Boondocks, I heard.
there is a charging station there now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have an electric car, you could stop there and you could recharge your car.
That's crazy.
Not a Tesla branded one,
right?
But nonetheless, you could charge your vehicle. I've been toying with getting an electric car myself, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when the Chevy Volt came out, I really wanted that car. But it was $30,000.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm going to spend my money somewhere else, actually. Mm-hmm. Today, I'd be willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's neat that you could drive. Actually, I have a customer who drives around a Tesla.
Really?
And it's really neat to see him take off, and you don't hear any engine.
Yeah.
It's kind of messes with you a little bit. It's a
Yeah.
little eerie. But very, very awesome.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
I heard him talk about it on the Joe Rogan podcast, which if you haven't listened to that yet,
I have not.
That's mind-blowing. It was neat to hear, this kind of ties together, the lag time when Joe would ask a question.
Okay.
And there would be a good 10 seconds, and I only listened to it because there is video, so you could watch, but you could hear his brain, like, how am I going to word this perfectly? And that's how he works. That's how his whole life is. So, and the lag time too, with the electric car, he was talking about that and how, you hit the gas, it has to do so many things before it actually takes action. With the electric car, it's instant.
Oh, it's
so that 0 to 60 is, of course, going to be way faster.
Way faster, Tony.
And everything. Like he was talking about traction in the snow. And he said everything is on its cameras, and they take 1,000 frames a second. So when I think the question Joe asked was, how does it correct itself once it starts to slide? And he's like, well, it won't slide because the second it, a tenth of, not even a tenth,
Yeah, it's calculating so many things so quickly.
Yeah, 1,000 a second that there's no way it's even going to screw up.
Well, I've seen this Tesla car of my customers, and it just, you wouldn't believe how fast it takes off. You'd have to see it to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he kind of got on it, but there's no gasoline car that I've ever seen ever take off like that. And actually, if you look up YouTube videos, you'll see electric car will just annihilate, a gas-powered car.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people like the gasoline engines because you can make them sound really cool and powerful. But electric car, by far, is got a lot more torque. A lot of people don't know that trains, for example, are electric motors. So the diesel locomotive is producing the power, and then the train, actually the wheels get powered by electric.
Right.
Many people do not know that. But
well, years ago when my dad built the pump car, I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember.
A hand car for the railroad tracks. He had to insulate the wheels, and it was because he was using the pump car on tracks that still had trains at the time on them. And whoa, that come out of nowhere. So he had to schedule it with the railroad company, of course, so we weren't going to run into a train or anything. But when you get near the crossing, the connection between the tracks is what sets off the crossing arm.
Oh, okay.
So he had to insulate the wheels so that when he come up on the crossing, that it wouldn't send down the arms on there.
Well, I didn't know that.
I never knew that either.
I always thought it was weight.
Yeah.
Because if you ever watch, when the train goes past it, they seem to kind of, be compressed down an inch or so. Maybe not that much, but
very well could be.
It maybe. But I always thought it was like a trigger. I didn't realize it was conductivity.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you put a metal bar across the tracks at
Boom.
that certain point, it'll send those arms down.
I like it.
If they're still, which I don't think around here they're even plugged in anymore. But
Yeah.
maybe. Let's go try it.
Well, I've always predicted the train's going to make a huge comeback. That's right. You heard it here.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here on the Tony Levesque podcast.
That's right.
Train's coming back.
It's coming back.
It's going to come back big. Don't know how long it's going to take, but think about it. We have congested roads with tractor trailers.
Well, the subway in most major cities,
Yeah.
the subway is such a major form of transportation.
Sure.
And it's underground, so it's out of the way of everything.
Everything. I don't know what form trains are going to come back in. I don't know. I can't, I'm not an inventor like that, but I believe they're going to come back in a big way in America. Actually, look how many other countries use it, but we really don't use it to the level that other countries use transportation, like Japan. My parents went to Japan, and when they traveled, they took public transportation over there all the time, and it was a train, a fast train.
Oh yeah,
I believe
the one that hovers above the tracks.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works, but I know it's like over 100 miles an hour. It's very fast, and you can go from one side of the country to the other quickly.
Well, it seems like the tracks need a lot less maintenance than a road. You know what I mean?
Less surface area.
Right.
Yep.
And how often do you ever see them replacing rails? Once the infrastructure is there, once it's built, how much maintenance does that really need compared to a highway where they're always constantly...
Yeah. Resurfacing.
Yep. Filling in cracks.
I know.
Potholes.
All the time.
Remember Lions Falls when they redid the whole town?
Yes, I do. I do.
How many cars you go through that?
I remember that. Oh, man. It was during the, when they were putting the sewer and water system in. Yeah, I know.
I remember going across the bridge when they were doing the bridge in Lions Falls, the big bridge, when they were redoing each side of it. And they had cones down the middle. And I went to my friend Tom Monk's house for band practice, and then we went back into town to Marino's or something for lunch, the whole crew of us. And I had a 1990 Ford Tempo, and I was driving, and all of a sudden I hear thump, 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 thump. What the hell is that? And I could feel it on the car, and I'm looking, I'm trying to figure out what I'm running over. And Tom's in the back with the door open, knocking over all the cones across there.
Oh, interesting. Like just holding his hand out and...
Yeah, well, he opened the door up.
Oh, I see.
Was hitting him with the door. Yeah,
interesting.
But, some road worker was probably pretty pissed.
I know. Yeah. You guys want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
All right. I remember when I was, I think it was 17 maybe. I remember...
Mid-90s. Early 90s.
Yeah. It must have been like 92, I'm guessing. 92. And I remember this so clearly because I laugh about it to this day. I was following a Lewis County truck. It was going so slow. It was irritating me, actually. And I finally had an opportunity to pass this truck on Fish Creek Road up in Seaville. And it was in the wintertime. And, of course, as I'm passing, I decide I'm going to flip at the bird, like get out of my way type thing. And, of course, what do? Lose control and go off in the ditch.
Oh, had you flipped the bird?
After I flipped the bird.
After.
And these guys, they pull up and like, are you okay? Just want to make sure you're okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then they flipped me the bird and took off. And to this day, I just laugh. It's just, that's some good humor right there,
Oh, man.
Just think of some of the things you do when you're a kid and you don't give any thought, no care in the world, just have a good time. So, yeah, stories like that are just...
Yeah.
They're fun to reminisce and remember all the silly things, you know.
Man. Yeah. Were you nerdy in high school?
No.
No? Not
at all.
Even for being into computers and stuff?
No, I was kind of a hybrid. I enjoyed tech. I knew it was the way that the world was going to go. But I was not a nerd at all. No, not at all. I kind of wonder sometimes what people viewed me as back in school, but I certainly wasn't in my makeup. I liked cars. I was into sports cars. I was really into professional audio systems. Remember my BMW I had, the 528?
Yep.
And we just decked that thing out with Rockford Fosgate amps and an Alpine tuner. And I remember we had an audio EQX, so I could adjust every possible imagination of the music.
Right.
I had like Polk tweeters in it, and my dream was to compete with it. Never got there. But when you sit in a car that's been dynamatted with this insulation material, and the clarity of the speakers are just unbelievable. I know there's probably a lot of people out there who've experienced that, but it's not common, and you just have to hear it. It's really amazing.
See, I hate those cars when they drive by, because it's always when I'm making a commercial. Well,
let me tell you. So here's the thing. If a car is driving by and you can hear it, it's not done right.
Right.
Because they didn't...
it's not insulated.
It's not insulated. You need to keep the sound inside the car.
Right.
And
it's like the cabinet of a speaker. It needs to be solid to push the right, correct amount of sound out.
Correct. And that's what I was all about in high school. I enjoyed every minute of it.
And we're back.
Yes, we had a little delay there. No big deal.
Yeah, Penelope likes to see what's going on.
I love it.
Yeah.
She can come knock on the door all she wants, right, Tony?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I had somebody cancel this week, and I got a hold of you, and, got a hold of Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
Who's your contact?
My secretary.
That's right. And,
she'll love me for that one.
Yeah, I bet. You're probably not going to listen to this, but she will.
I'm going to listen to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For 5 minutes, you're going to say, oh, no, I hate the sound of my voice.
I know, I don't like the sound of my voice.
Nobody does.
But it is what it is.
That's what I do all day, is listen to my own voice.
Yep.
It sucks.
But yeah, that's what I was into. So, I was all about trying to get that perfect sound in the car. Actually, there was a time where I almost was going to go into that business, actually, and had a couple opportunities. I chose not to take them, and that's fine. But that's just something, a chapter in my life. Some people may know about, and others don't. But
yeah, I never knew that.
Yep. Yeah, I would.
So what kind of music were you playing through those speakers?
All kinds.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say all kinds. I guess not country. I would have, but I played all different types of music. Little, Dr. Dre. You remember Dr. Dre?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember buying, I think it was The Chronic.
Yeah, The Chronic, yeah.
At a garage sale.
Like, oh, yeah.
In the mid-90s.
It was like a white album.
Yeah.
He had like a gold chain around his neck.
And there was like a gold around his face. It was like a like a senior picture kind of thing.
That's a good album, actually.
It was. But I think my parents heard it and it was gone.
It's gone, yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few of those albums over the years. Yep.
It's gone.
What's that?
Yeah, that's right. A lot of people are going, Tim Munn? Dr. Dre?
Really?
Yeah, we were best buds.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. But yeah, I would also I like Bass Drive. Bass Drive was a cool album that really, really would get some seriously low hertz on the bass. So low that you could feel it, but not hear it.
Right.
And that is hard. That is something I'm going to tell you right now is hard to accomplish. But in our setup in that car could do it. And so you would be inside it, and your shirt would be like, kind of fluffing out in and out. You could feel it, but you heard nothing.
Yeah,
it was really cool. So it's there was that balancing game of how do you get the highs and the lows to all sound together perfectly and have that flow. I still remember it was an Alpine 7807 deck on it, and it was unique for its day because you could change. We laugh now about it, but you could change the screen between green and amber. Ooh! I mean, that was like was really advanced.
Did it have the faceplate that come off?
It did.
Yeah, nobody would steal it.
Yeah,
in Lions Falls,
Boonville. Yeah, so the faceplate would come off with a push of a button. You could store it, and it's a little caddy, put it in your glove box if you wanted to. Yeah.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. You know, it'd actually be very difficult, in my opinion, to do a good, system integration in a car today. If you just look at the console, look how they're rounded and,
right,
unique for every vehicle. But back when we were younger, Tony, every car had a standard placeholder for your radio.
Right, and you can put whatever radio you bought right in there.
That's right.
Or go down to Big Apple and let them do it.
Yeah, Big Apple. Yeah, absolutely. Big Apple's awesome. We use them all the time for various things. But I used Adirondack Music in Boonville. They were awesome.
With the Radio Shack.
Oh, yeah, Radio Shack.
I miss those.
I know, I do too. There was a lot of them.
I used to go to the sale barn in Port Leyden.
Oh, yep.
And in the back room where they have all the records, they had this gigantic box, and it was filled with every single adapter you can think of from Radio Shack in the package.
Still
in the package. I don't know if they bought it. A Radio Shack was going out of business or something, but it was this giant box right full of them, still with the prices on them.
Oh, wow.
And for every adapter you'd ever need with a music equipment or a TV, whatever. And so I found something that I needed in the box, and I went up. Nothing was priced. And I asked the lady, how much is this? And she's like, I don't know, 25 cents a piece. So I went back and got probably a couple $100 worth of adapters and stuff I'd never used, stuff that's probably still in the box.
Yeah, melt the gold off it.
Yeah, for maybe $6 or something. But,
oh, wow. Yeah, Radio Shack, that was a cool store. And actually, an interesting thing, they actually had forced distribution of their batteries to their outlets.
Really?
Yeah, I remember I went into a Radio Shack one time and there was this, like, piles of batteries. More than you would normally see. I remember asking the guy behind the counter, like, why do you have so many batteries? And he goes, we get forced distribution. We get them whether we sell them or not. And we didn't sell too many last month. And we just got our new shipment in and look at them all. Yeah. It's, I guess that's franchises for you.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about it, but...
it seems like batteries have, like, quadrupled in price over the last 5 years.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. You buy an Energizer 2-pack of AAAs and it's like $8 now. But then you go to Dollar General and they're 99 cents.
I know.
I don't know. And they're the same batteries.
They
gotta be.
I buy them there, actually.
I do too.
Why not?
Yeah.
Save $1.
My gig bag is
Boom.
just chock full of Dollar General everything.
Yeah, DG.
Yeah.
Dollar Gen.
My friend Mike and I have this theory that everywhere you go in northern New York State, if you can see a Stewart's, you can also see a Dollar General.
I'll have to take notice.
If you drive up through the Adirondacks, in almost every little town you go through, there's a Stewart's and a Dollar General.
They kind of follow each other,
You can usually see one from the other. I don't know what to call that theory, but...
Probably accurate. I'll start taking notice. Well, they both have a model of let's be in communities that are underserved. Here's my viewpoint of Lewis County. Lewis County is ripe picking for some great businesses. I actually predict, here we go again, prediction on the Tony Levesque podcast show.
That's right.
You're going to see some tremendous growth in this area. It's going to be an exciting time for everyone involved who lives around here. We got best of both worlds. We've got nature. Just it's a wonderful area to live, really.
It is.
And I'd like to see the growth you're going to experience. I believe will be good quality, controlled growth that keeps our area very, very nice. Brings more money to the area. You're gonna see that happen.
Well, I think this area has relied so much on tourism, especially since all the mills disappearing.
Yep.
And it varies all the time, tourism, especially, winter tourism, because sometimes we have a hell of a winter for snowmobiling. And sometimes we get no winter till January, and it's gone. I love those winters. Doesn't bode well for tourism.
It hurts the tourism, but it does make it easier on your back when you're not snow blowing every single day. And
right.
I know.
Yeah. And, get ready to bring the kids to school. Oh, no school today. Oh, what do we do now?
Yep.
But I'd like to see us in this area rely less on tourism. I don't want to see the tourism go away. I want to see the area have a more stable, form of money coming in all the time.
Yeah, you want to see manufacturing commingle with tourism.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up having both,
right.
And I think you're going to see it.
Yeah, I think so too. I've talked with a lot of people on the podcast about farming and the industry, and these kind of people are smart, and they say the farm doesn't work anymore. I'm not selling the milk, so they adapt and they'll go with goats or they'll use the milk for other things, or making use of the farms is important because it's a heritage.
Well, it is a heritage. And, in business, you have to adapt. I mean, if I look over the last 20 years, running our business, we've adapted continuously, always looking for what is the market going to do. I think farms are starting to realize they have to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's going to be good for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always optimistic about business. We live in America, one of the greatest countries in the world. Probably it is the greatest country in the world. But when it comes to business, we've got it nailed down.
Mm-hmm.
Our economy is top notch.
Yeah,
and we also are able to thrive in those. In our country when it comes to business. I mean, you're entitled to start a business up tomorrow.
Right.
What do you want to make, Tony?
Money.
There you go.
Yeah.
That might be the one thing we can't do. But nonetheless,
I like making entertainment. That's my thing. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I work at the radio. That's why I play music. I like making
it's
people
content.
happy.
It's content, and people like content. Content consumption. That's the. I was talking with my brother-in-law this past weekend, actually, and it's all about content consumption. And my sister-in-law, who's her name is Cassie, she's just insanely talented and smart in this realm, which I am not. I think it might be a different generation. I might be a little too old. I'm learning now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working it. I'm adapting again.
Right. You have to.
Yeah, gotta keep adapting.
We're evolving constantly.
Evolving nonstop. Changing strategies and doing different things. But so everyone keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled for some great things coming to Lewis County.
I think that's good.
Yeah. So, Tony, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Was music your hobby when you were in high school? Was that your main thing?
Yeah.
Like guitar?
Yeah.
Was that like your main thing, like your passion?
Well, when I was in school, elementary school, they had you do the recorders, the
okay,
little
yep.
flute thing.
Yes.
And that was supposed to, you learn the song over a couple weeks, and then the teacher evaluated everyone, which is weird because I think everyone played at the same time. You know what I mean? The whole class, and then they went and said, "Nope, your drums. I want to play the drums. That's all I wanted." And the teacher said saxophone. Like, all right. I love music, and if that was going to get me into music, then I was going to do it. And small elementary school, they didn't have enough instruments, and I had to rent it, and it was going to be $20 a month. And I brought that back to my parents and said, and my mom said, "Do you really want to play the saxophone? Because we'll shell out the $20 a month if you really want to do it." Which they didn't have the $20 a month, but that's what you do when you're a parent.
That's right.
And my dad had a friend and whose daughter was in college, and Terry Plemons, his daughter, I don't remember her name. I want to say Angela, but that's probably wrong. Anyway, he said she's in college and she will give piano lessons. We will pay for the piano lessons, that $20, a month, if you want to take that, but you won't be able to do music in school. It'll be outside of school.
Pick one or the other.
Right. And I was thrilled. So I picked up piano at 10 years old, was never really great at it, but I did the practice as much, not as much as I should have, but I enjoyed making music. I didn't enjoy the sheet music, the reading music part of it, but I really enjoyed it. So, 14, 15 years old, all I wanted was a guitar because there were kids in school that played. So at 16, I think... Probably should shut those notifications off. But at 16, I don't know if it was for my birthday or for Christmas, my parents bought me a decent enough guitar. Nothing great because I didn't know if I was going to be really into it or not. And I just loved it. And I literally played, and I know you hear this from a lot of people, I played till my fingers bled. And I loved it. Within a month, I was playing songs and singing along and just went nuts from there and picked up the bass, and I haven't stopped playing.
You play the bass really nice. I like that.
Thank you.
Yep. I bought a guitar or a drum set.
Really?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
I knew this, yeah.
And it's not used at all.
No.
Well,
hang clothes on it.
Yeah. It's got dust on it.
Yeah.
I should go clean it off.
Mm-hmm.
But no, my wife was like, you should, do something to clear your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, maybe I'll get into, drums or something. I couldn't pick it up.
No.
Then again.
Did you ever have any lessons or?
Yeah, I had two different teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggled with it tremendously to the point where I didn't even really want to practice. I kind of have this desire to go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll be different this time, but man, I'll tell you what, making your hands and your feet do something different at the same time, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
If anyone's never tried it, definitely give that a try. I actually had two drum sets. I bought a Roland, one of those digital ones.
Okay.
And I didn't really like the sound of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hit the rubber.
You didn't get that feeling you wanted.
I didn't get that feeling that I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I wanted it because you could put headphones on and play at night.
Sure.
That was kind of cool, but it wasn't.
You didn't get that bounce back.
That bounce back, and that you needed, that
Mm-hmm.
you really do need. So I traded it in and moved up to I guess we'll call it an acoustic drum set.
Mm-hmm.
It's got this really nice red pearl coat on it. It's a really beautiful set, but in my hands, it sounds awful.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's something I think I may attempt to in the future to get back to.
Do you think you lost interest in it because you were being taught and you had to learn? Whereas if you were to just go out and beat on it for a half hour a day, do you think you would slowly learn? Teach yourself?
Yeah, I might have.
Do you think the restriction of practice, learning, doing things exactly right was enough for you to, and being it difficult, that you just you lost interest and didn't want to play it anymore?
I think that might be part of it, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
I do know a fault of mine, which is the whole time I was sitting in front of the drum set, I'd be thinking I should be doing something with business. I should be doing this, which is, I'm trying to get that out of my head.
It's supposed to be your escape.
It's supposed to be my escape.
Right.
But my brain is saying, go do this or go do that, or you should be going and doing this, or you should be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm taking more of a laid back approach, the second half of my career, I think I might give it a try again, see what happens.
You should.
I think I'll do better this time.
I think you should just sit on it for a half hour a day.
And just
do whatever you want.
Whatever that is.
Put on some headphones, listen to a song, and try to imitate it.
Yep.
And if that gets frustrating, just beat the crap out of them.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's what they're meant for.
That's right.
You can always replace the heads on them.
I think I would have done much more with piano. Like, my brother can still play. He took lessons as well. And he still plays and plays well. I know what the chords are. I know how to play. I just don't play.
Yep.
I think I would have got way more into it if I didn't have to learn the scale. But you have to for piano, other instruments not so much, but a piano is just, it's a whole different thing. But I think if I were a little more lax and learn songs that I wanted to learn rather than Bach and Beethoven, I would have kept with it. But,
Yeah, take Dr. Dre.
Right. Yeah.
And just figure out how to do that, right?
Right.
Something you enjoy. I had a couple different drum instructors. I had two. First gentleman, Kelly Yako, down in New Hartford, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But he was such an amazing drum player. I don't know if he didn't know how to. I don't think he knew how to handle someone like me who was as far away from the music world,
right,
that you could possibly get. I came in really not even knowing what music notes were.
Mm-hmm.
That's how out there in the instrument.
Right, you're brand new to it.
Oh, I was new.
Mm-hmm.
I still am, honestly. I obviously know, there's different notes and stuff like that. But now with drums, it's more like, beats and some things of that nature. But still, treble clef, what?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it threw them, just like I've actually worked with people who've never used a computer mouse before, and it throws you.
Yeah,
because you're thinking, shouldn't you know how to use a computer mouse?
Well, it's funny,
but
Penelope was at work with me today, and Heather had to leave for school, so she dropped her off while I was live on air. And she does that occasionally, and I'll just put her in the other room with YouTube on, and she'll have her snacks and watch her shows and whatnot. Not for very long. And she said something about wanting to switch it, and I said, well, you can switch it. And she goes, I don't know how to click it, Dad. And I realized that everything that she uses is a tablet, is a tab.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And she's never used a mouse before. And she's been on screens for a couple of years now. I mean, she's 4. And even with the remote for the TV, she knows how to run the remote. She knows what the OK button is and, the back button and whatnot. But she's never used a mouse.
Oh, wow.
And
interesting perspective there.
Outside of work, I mean, I have this mouse here for the computer, but I don't often use it. It's
she's used to the swipe and tap and double tap or whatever on a.
So she didn't even know how to click, the ad off or click next episode.
Isn't that interesting how that is?
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, I mean the human interface devices of the future will probably be thought.
Oh, sure.
You might just think about a song you want to hear
or eye blinks
or something. Eye blinks. Who knows? I don't know.
You want to get back into the conspiracy?
Yeah. Well, you don't want to go into my mind when it comes to conspiracy. We'll stay out of that one, Tony.
We'll save it for the next one.
That'll be maybe the next one. Hey, we should have a conspiracy theory show.
I'm up for that. Maybe we can get
a lot of them.
Eric to join us.
I got a lot. Sure.
Yeah.
Eric's probably got a few.
I'm sure.
If we can keep them reined in.
Yeah.
Actually, I just went golfing with Eric.
Really?
Had a great time. He, I really have only had really 2 really super good friends, and he's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we went golfing.
Mm-hmm.
Had a nice lunch up at Turin Highlands. Love that golf course. Just put a shout out there.
Yeah, to Ken.
To the Sabatini family and Ken. Yeah, Ken. Yep, Ken was on your show. Great golf course.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Wonderful family too up there, and we had a good time. And we there's talk about going out to dinner. I think next Thursday with another gentleman and Eric, and we'll try to stay in touch. It's not easy to do when you have wife and children and responsibilities. Of course, as you know how it is.
And Netflix.
Yeah. I watch Friends every night when I go to bed.
Yeah.
It's a fun fact that
really
people don't really need to know, probably. But I
enjoy knowing that now.
Yeah, I just enjoy that show, and it's easy to fall asleep too.
My wife is 9 years younger, and I grew up with Friends. Saw every episode as they aired. And a couple years ago, she's like, "Is Friends any good?"
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like, "You would love it." So she, I couldn't have the TV for a couple months while she binge watched Friends.
Binge watched the whole thing. Yeah. It's just wonderful, well crafted.
She goes,
excellent characters.
I get so many references now. Like every other show, it's like Seinfeld, the references bleed over into pop culture.
Yeah, sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I get it now.
Right.
All right, sorry to sidetrack you there.
No, I totally get it. I enjoy it.
I watch The Office before I go to bed every night.
I like The Office too. Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, I've seen it so many times that because I need to watch TV to fall asleep.
Yep.
And then I'll wake up on the couch and go to bed. Like a typical dad. And I can't do that if I'm interested in what I'm watching. So I can't watch something new and fall asleep because my eyes will be peeled open to see it. But with The Office, I've seen it so many times.
You can follow in your sleep.
Comforting. Yeah.
It's comforting, yeah.
I don't mind falling asleep because I know what happens next.
Michael Scott, the thing is about that show is fantastic, and I like him as a character greatly.
Mm-hmm.
And some people would say, well, why do you like Michael Scott?
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal there? He is a fantastic salesman. He really is,
Mm-hmm.
because you remember the episode when they went to Chili's, and it's all about relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's all relationship. He was building that relationship up before he was talking about paper.
Mm-hmm.
The product will sell itself if you have the right relationship, or if people trust you.
Yeah.
And that's what Michael Scott always did. And so they put that in there. And a lot of people, I think, overlook that. They look at him as like a tool or an annoyance, or like what a bad manager he is.
Mm-hmm.
In the real world, someone like him would create great profit for a company.
Yeah.
And
that's why I think Fred Lawton that I work with, he's the best salesman because, Chris is great as well. I work with such an awesome bunch of people, but Fred is just, he retains everything when, he'll ask, oh, how was your vacation last week? Oh, I forgot I told you I went.
Yeah.
He really cares about people.
Yeah, people person.
Right.
Yep.
Not just trying to butter up to you. He really genuinely cares.
And then it's just, the rest is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And he knows everybody.
Oh, boy.
Probably from doing sales for 25 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, The Office is funny. That show makes me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. They actually, toned his character down. Michael Scott toned his character down after first season, when they used to slick his hair with oil, and they didn't do that after season
all
1.
the fan theories that he went on Rogaine and. But I love when Pam goes to get a new job, and the boss is basically Michael Scott, and it's Bob Odenkirk. It's actually a throwback because Bob Odenkirk almost had the job.
Yes.
Steve Carell had shot a pilot for something that ended up failing, and then he went and did The Office.
So it was a second choice, sort of.
Right.
Right.
So when you see Bob Odenkirk acting just like Michael, he was just playing the part that he originally auditioned for in his way, and it made me laugh.
It's interesting. That happens. Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
Michael J. Fox was not the original character.
Right.
I don't remember his name, but they shot quite a bit, and they realized it wasn't working, and then they hired Michael J. Fox, and they reshot. And I was kind of looking on some information about that. It's believed that, do you remember when he punches, what is it, Biff Tannen?
Yep.
He punches Biff.
Yeah.
That's actually the fist of the original guy.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Not Michael J. Fox, but they kept it because Michael J. Fox says that they did not refilm that one scene. He knows they didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows it couldn't be his fist.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that really launched his whole career. He had some stuff going on before that. I think he was on a TV show. He was a child actor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But I think
Family, what was that called?
Family Ties?
Family Ties. Oh, yeah.
But I don't think he would have been half as successful without the Back to the Future movies.
Yeah, that was huge.
Just solidified him. Yeah.
What if we could ever go back to the future?
I don't think it's possible to go back.
Could we go forward?
I've read a lot of theories on, I think you can go forward, but how would you ever know?
I don't know. Interesting.
You would never know.
You never know. Interesting.
They say, every study I've read on the possibility of it say that it's impossible to go backwards. That it may be possible to go forward.
Interesting. We'll have to have another podcast show to talk about potentials of interesting.
My wife's gonna hate this.
Oh,
she hates all my conspiracy theories. I'm nuts for ancient aliens.
Oh, ancient aliens. Oh,
I know
that
80% of that show is a bunch of garbage. It's just like, oh, you are really stretching on that one. And even the way they narrate it, the narrator cracks me up, this couldn't possibly be, but ancient alien theorists say,
as if their profession is completely
right.
I don't know.
But a lot of it is like, wow, that is interesting. I like the idea of conspiracy. I don't believe in most conspiracies, but I like the maybe that could be.
Yeah. My wife doesn't like me talking about conspiracy. She thinks I'm a nut job when it comes to that, but
Don't all wives think their husbands are nuts?
I think so. Lisa, what do you think?
I think she does.
I like Bigfoot. Isn't there a show on TV or something about Bigfoot, Sasquatch or something like that?
It's getting squatchy in here.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it. It's fantastical, and I think it would be awesome when they find Here we go. If they finally find one,
sure.
You know what I mean? Pull a body out or some DNA at least.
Isn't there like a big monster or something like that on the Black River?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes,
in Lions Falls area.
My friend Noelle that I grew up with said her grandmother used to talk about that. And I was
makes you wonder.
I was fishing on the Black River one time. This is in Dadville. There's a little dock right there, and we just stopped over there to fish for a few minutes. And I saw this gigantic shadow in the water. It looked like maybe a big carp, but it was swimming so fast. Man, no, okay, now we're getting into it. But it was probably a gigantic carp because I've seen some big ones in there, but I didn't realize they could swim that
fish
fast.
Scare me, honestly. We went on a cruise once, and I got it in my head that we were, I was going to go snorkeling, and it was the Disney cruise, and they, how they go, you Castaway Key, this little private island, and you snorkel out, you kind of swim out. I don't know how far, 60 feet. I have no idea, honestly, but the whole point of renting the snorkel gear is because they got this like treasure chest at the bottom of the ocean you can go down to. And so I go out there and I dive down, complete non-swimmer that I am, and barely got down there, to be honest with you. It was real stupid. I'd never do it today, but I approached the treasure chest from behind and kind of look around, and there was this gigantic fish. It had teeth, I swear to God. I mean, Lisa thinks I'm making this up, but I pushed off the bottom of the ocean as fast as I could. I literally rocketed straight up, and I got out of there as quick as I could. And Lisa's theory is that it's probably like an animatronic fish or something that they purposely have down there. Who knows? Yeah. I'd almost have to go back. I actually did go back, but I didn't go snorkeling, and I stayed away from it. And this is another one of my stories I'll never forget because it scared me so bad. I'm like, this thing looked like it could kill me, And I'm not a big fan of fish. No. Anything bigger than me like that.
I'm not a huge fan of swimming. Like, I'll swim in a pool here and there, but and when I was a kid, I used to swim in the river all the time. But now that thought of the unknown, and the rivers around here are dark. You can't see your feet if you try to look at them from the top. Yeah, so I don't. Man, I've caught a few monstrous snapping turtles.
I'm sure you're thinking
that'll take your finger off or your toe or anything else you got sticking out.
There you go.
I don't want to be in that water at all. Don't know what it is, but we're in the same boat, literally.
Literally, I'll be right there in the boat.
With our life preservers, and
I love boats.
Yeah,
wish I had one.
Yeah,
probably never have one.
You live right on the river too.
I know. It'd be nice if I could ever. I've always wanted to have like a dock, like a retractable dock, that kind of comes up out of the water by a push of a button.
Elon Musk dock.
I wonder if I could get him to design me one.
Tesla would definitely make you one.
I know. Actually, I kind of went down and talked to Gary Brown, and we're in the talking phases of how could we do that? Could I do that? Are there regulations? I have no idea. But we're going to figure it out. It would be neat to have a boat. Picture this for a moment. you get in the boat
Mhm.
on dry land. You push a button, and it lifts the boat and puts it into the river. Then I can go cruising up and down the river, bring the boat back, pick the boat and everything back up out of the river.
And it sits it on the...
There you go. And then come wintertime, you don't need to do much other than pick it up out of the water and,
Mhm.
you know, do whatever winterizing you need to do to a boat, whatever that is.
So you've got all the ideas, now you just need the boat.
I know it. I need a boat. I need a boat.
Anyone out there that's got a boat,
I need a boat.
Jim needs a boat.
Boats are expensive, though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Everything's
For another day.
expensive. Yeah.
For another day.
Yeah.
I don't need anything great. I just need something that
Troll along the river,
river worthy.
keep you out of the water.
Just stay dry.
That's the main
Go up
thing.
and down. That's all I really need.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be fast or anything.
You're just the guy that drives along and waves at people.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Yeah. Hello. Wave to people on the shoreline.
I love that I'm waving because people can see that.
I waved to a plane the other day. It was flying by.
Yeah. Did it wave back?
I don't know. I was waiting for him to kind of like dip his wings a couple times
Mhm.
to acknowledge that I'm waving to him, but no, it didn't happen.
They're laying gravel down on the road today and yesterday, and we're waiting out for the bus with Penelope, and I'm like, oh, check this out. And I did the arm pump, to get them to honk the
I
horn.
love that.
Oh, my God, it was so loud because we're right on the
man.
road. She thought that's the coolest thing.
You know how many kids today don't even know what that is?
I know.
They'll be like, what are you
It's just
doing?
wrong.
Why would you do that?
It's
I
insane.
loved it. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
I
Go up
do
to the
it as
road,
an
do
adult.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's cool. And those are the things that we need to teach our children. Keep
Mhm.
it alive.
Yeah.
Don't let those things fade away.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many things are out there that our parents' generation did
Mm-hmm.
that we don't know about.
Right.
Like, that all of them would know, but we'd be like, hey, what's that? What does that mean? I don't know.
Well, I went to a camp a couple weekends ago to play a party up in Stillwater. Doug Bozer, if he's listening. And he goes, if you need to use the phone, here's the phone. And we go out, and he's got a rotary phone out there. And I just had to dial it once just to get that feeling.
Yeah,
of,
that feeling.
you
Oh,
know.
I remember that. So my grandmother had one of
Yeah.
those.
Remember how long it took to dial a 1-800 number? Yeah. And every mom in the world had that 100-foot cord.
And then you screw up.
So they can, oh, yeah.
You gotta start over.
Yeah. Make sure you hold it down long enough.
Yeah, the 100-foot cord, it just kind of like
So they
was
could
coiled next to the couch.
do long. Every mom's special skill was
Sure.
to be able to hold a phone and do anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like my mom could go swimming and still have the phone in her ear.
And the phone would be dry
Yeah.
by the time, she was done.
Yeah.
Sure. Wow. Then
We
you
had
get
a long enough cord,
and you get the party lines. Remember the party lines?
We were
Pick up
never
the-
part of that, but
No?
I
Oh.
do remember them existing. Yeah.
Yeah, we were. We'd pick up the phone and
Mhm.
you'd hear people talking and you'd hang back up and then try again in 10 minutes. It'd still be talking. And
Mhm.
you're like, okay, interesting.
I remember when to call from Boonville to Lowville was long distance.
Yep. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you had to wait till after a certain hour, if I recall correctly. Maybe I'm not recalling correctly, but like cheaper to dial after 9.
Yeah, after 9, yeah.
Just call after 9.
I remember when caller ID just blew my mind.
How could it do it?
We could see who's calling.
How does it work?
And then the first portable phones with the the extendable antenna on there.
And I still remember when I bought my first cell phone.
Mm.
They're big.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bag phone or anything like that, but it was, much bigger than phones are today. And,
Yeah.
and it did one thing, and it
Mhm.
did it poorly.
Yeah.
That was call people.
Where are you calling from? I can't hear you.
I know. Staticky.
This is a cell phone. What?
Cellular.
What'd you win the lottery?
Yeah, do you remember what was it? What was it before Singular? Remember Singular before
Singular
AT&T?
Wireless. Yeah.
The little orange guy?
Mm-hmm.
That was a really great marketing campaign.
Yeah.
A symbol and
You know what I thought was great marketing? The little dot from 7-Up.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know. That's
And the Noid. Avoid the Noid.
avoid the Noid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boy,
We gotta get back to those marketing days.
I should.
Some creativity.
Pizza is still going on, though.
Hey, I love the pizza. Still do.
You know what gets me? And there is not even a store around. I've never even seen an O'Reilly's.
Oh, O'Reilly's.
Auto parts.
Yeah, they advertise continuously.
Yeah.
Where is... I have actually seen an O'Reilly's.
Really?
One time in Virginia near Norwalk.
Really?
Yeah, that's where it was. Yeah, I had to think about that for a moment. I remember seeing it going, oh my gosh. It exists. Yeah. It's not made up.
It's not Elon Musk just wasting money.
I'm sure there's somewhere they gotta be, but they're not around here that I'm aware of.
Why would they waste their money advertising up here? It just doesn't
constantly.
Doesn't
and they've been doing it for what?
Yeah.
Decades?
And there's
forever.
At least one every hour. Yeah. Hey, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony, for having me on.
We need to catch up more.
The next show, conspiracy theories. We'll have the whole show on conspiracy theories.
I'm okay with that.
I'll come with a list. I got a few.
It's going to be 4 hours long.
I have about a list of 28 of them I truly believe in.
Before we go, Loch Ness Monster.
Okay.
Do you believe in
it? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably something to it. Some type of, I don't know. I don't want to call it an animal.
I have
but
a theory. I think that it did exist and maybe not anymore. Maybe
it went extinct. How do we know, right?
Yeah.
JFK.
Oh, now we're getting into it.
We probably shouldn't even talk about that. It's kind of risky.
Everything's risky.
Everything's
risky. Phones are listening.
I know these microphones are listening.
They are. Not anymore. See you, Tim. Thanks.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks for listening to Tony and Other People, a podcast. Questions, comments, concerns for Tony's overall well-being? Want to be part of the show? Find us on Facebook or email us at tonyandotherpeople@gmail.com.